stinging types like hydroids, and mollusks protected by a hard shell, including snails. Also, amazing cephalopods like squid and octopus, which live between 2 and 3 years. Their eyes are remarkably human-like and accurately register shapes, textures, and colors. Cephalopods, like most higher animals, have separate sexes. They copulate along the bottom of the reef. The males have a modified arm, functions as a sperm transfer conductor. Upon mating, the female octopus rejects the male and establishes a home where she will wait alone for some weeks. Actual fertilization does not occur until sometime later, when the eggs are deposited in rocky crevices. The incubation period lasts between 2 and 4 weeks. The female shields the eggs, oxygenates them with squirts of water, and vacuums them clean with her suction cups. She will commonly refrain from eating during brooding. By the time her young finally hatch as miniature adults, she will be near starvation and will die thereafter. Of an octopus's thousands of offspring, only 1 or 2 will grow to adulthood and reproduction. The rest will have fallen prey of other larger animals in the food chain. More than 500 species of fish that bring color and perpetual movement to the reef surrounding Cozumel Island. Cozumel is privileged to have plentiful and diverse reefs. On its western end, there are some 20 diving sites whose location, depth, and current speed are great for drift diving. Each structure has its own singular set of traits. Some appear as a platform near the ground. Others tower more than 60 feet from the bottom. Then there are those whose proximity to the mangrove and freshwater sprouts become breeding grounds for several species of tropical fish. Others more, such as palancar, are so huge that they're divided into sections, calling for more than one dive for thorough inspection. Others hang on the edge of the insular bank or the edge of the wall and drop sharply in excess of 300 feet. And uniquely so, Punta Sur Reef, which hosts a major quartet of structures. A place to appreciate breathtaking caverns, some of them spectacularly lit by traces of incoming light. Others wide and marvelously spacious. Where fish like the glassy sweepers find a safe haven protecting them from predators. Yet the most amazing structure of all, the locally referred to Devil's Throat. Their name refers to the deepest section of the cavern. Found here is a tunnel that turns sharply on a straight angle. Outdoor light practically drops to a dim. This cavern has several passageways, some 120 feet deep. Because of its spectacular and unique conditions, this site is reserved for experienced divers. Advanced training is required. The stark contrasts marked by the towering silhouette of these awesome giant structures and the deep blue of the ocean draw a singular sight of unsurpassed beauty. Cozumel and its reefs are most definitely the natural treasure of the Mexican Caribbean. Coral reef communities are among the wonders of the submarine world. And now, most of them are within our grasp. Thriving in the diversity of the reef's ecosystem, each fish species has evolved and adapted to the environment. In diving Cozumel reefs, we encounter a universe of fish life everywhere. On the sea bottom, in mid-depth waters, and along the reefs. Now let's meet some of them. Among those to be seen on the sandy bottom and seagrass bed are the balloon and porcupine fish, pinned with long, hard spines that stretch across towards the back of their body. The scorpion fish, superbly camouflaged in reddish-brown shades, commonly passive but ready for defense, brandishing a spine on their dorsal fin that is stocked with poisonous glands. Sand tilefish build and keep burrows by removing sand and stones with their mouth. Commonly staying nearby the entrance to retreat quickly on demand. The jawfish, which swims head up to the surface. During the day, it upkeeps the premises and feeds on plankton. Uses its mouth to carve out minute caverns for retreat. Flounders start off symmetrical in the early stages of their lives. A few days after hatching, one eye begins to migrate over the head to approach the other eye, and the mouth then aligns accordingly to final eye position. Thereafter, the fish settles and establishes a new way of life, superbly camouflaged by its changing color and blending into the environment. Flounders can move their eyes independently, revolving nearly 360 degrees, which explains their excellent peripheral vision. And finally, in the sandy areas and seagrass bottoms nearby the reefs, the always mighty stingray, vigorous swimmers driven by the rhythmic waves of their pectoral fins. Stingray skin is soft and smooth, of differing patterns and colors. Their belly, however, is commonly pale white. They spend a great deal of their lifetime resting on the sandy bottom. The entryways behind their eyes pump clean, oxygen-rich water into their gills, which are nestled in the ventral section of their body. All rays, with the exception of the manta ray, have their mouth positioned below the head. In Cozumel, the most beautiful ray, no doubt, is the elegant spotted eagle ray. a swift swimmer that flaps its pectoral fins much like a bird. During courtship, they become even more active and playful, delivering to our eyes a singular, breathtaking, and humbling experience. They love to swim in areas with prevailing strong currents. During the winter, they are commonly sighted all day long swimming in impressive squadron-like formations. Their teeth are fused into two large crushing plates. They feed on shellfish, which they find by squirting a thrust of water from their mouth onto the sand to expose their prey, clasp it with their mouths, and devour the meat. The remaining crushed shells are discarded. The conservation of their habitat is the only real measure of preservation, for as the reefs remain alive and thus provide sustenance and shelter, so too the cycle of life will continue. Other fish have evolved to become excellent swimmers, and today they spend most of their time in the open sea. Examples: fish belonging to the Carnagidae family, silver-toned, long, with big eyes. As adults, they form large schools and spend their time in open waters, returning to the reef for food. Barracudas are common sights in Cozumel's waters. They're great daytime hunters, habitually seen roaming the reefs and mid-depth waters. Although adults are lone hunters, younger generations keep in small groups. Hammerheads are considered deep ocean dwellers. Still, they are spotted alongside reef walls or near the shore, their hammer-like head clearly discernible. It is believed that the shape of their head is an adaptation for swimming, possibly a design that better encases its sensory organs and sharpens their receptiveness. Many other fish, honoring the habits they've developed during hundreds of years, keep a close relationship with the reefs. The nurse shark, for one, is the most common shark in Cozumel. Grayish-brown and boasting two barbels on the upper lip, nurses use them to locate their prey. They're often kept company by remoras. During the daytime, they may be sighted swimming, but mostly they prefer to lay on the sand inside small caves along the reef. But come nighttime, the hunt begins. Groupers are often spotted wandering along Cozumel's reefs. They easily and quickly change color, turning pale or dark, a reaction triggered when in transition from youth to adulthood. When in distress or during the time they spend in cleansing stations, where small fish gnaw clean their skin from parasites. They usually find shelter in caves or cracks along the reef, and are commonly seen resting on the seafloor. These functional hermaphrodites mature first as